What's up, HCB family? Welcome to Hold the Ball. That's right. Hope you guys are well. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff there. Look, International Rugby League is back, more specifically Pasifika Rugby League, and that is what we love. We've got a few juicy matches, but I want to sort of talk to you guys about it in regards to the background, give you guys some context as well and my thoughts on it overall. But before we get into it, hit that intro. Guys, it is here. It has been announced, right? The NRL are going to be doing a representative round. Now, for me, I'm focusing more so on the international side of things. So we have New Zealand versus Tonga, we have Samoa versus the Cook Islands, and we have Fiji versus PNG, the Kumuls. Now, when saying that, obviously, it's going to be massive, right? Because the game is actually going back to New Zealand. So New Zealand versus Tonga will be back in New Zealand for the first time in over 2 years. I believe it's a doubleheader too, of the men's and the women's, over Mount Smart Stadium June the 25th. It's a doubleheader over in Campbelltown in Australia, Samoa, Cook Islands, Fiji, PNG. Now, just a quick little side note as well. It's been introduced as well that players cannot defect to different countries in the same year. So, for example, if you played for, say, New Zealand, you can't go play for Tonga or vice versa or anything like that. So, for me, I think it's good. It brings shape to what the International Rugby League should be about, to be honest with you guys. And I think it's actually a good thing, as Kate will just scored a try there for the Broncos. I tipped the Broncos, man. So, no, I tipped the Sharks, actually. So, damn. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Not over yet. Now, again, back to this. My thoughts on it. It's about bloody time, honestly, man. As for myself, again, I'm not trying to compare the two, but I personally find the best footy for me is watching it in the international level. Granted, I'm not talking about, like third-tier nations, but I mean in that sense of when it comes to Pacifica Rugby League, that's where it's at for me. I love it, right? Particularly New Zealand, particularly Tonga. I'd even throw France in there, but anyway, I digress. So, New Zealand versus Tonga over Mount Smart. The significance of that match is beyond what we can comprehend. Obviously, in terms of pride, it's awesome as I myself being born and bred, in New Zealand to a degree, a bit of Australia, but also being of, Tongan heritage. I myself am pretty stoked for this game, not only from a personal lens, but from a lens of just everyone else, being able to join in this experience and enjoy it. I absolutely think it's going to be a marvelous game here. And yes, that's right. With the games, follow me, guys. I'll be talking about it, tips and all that stuff, rundowns. It's about celebrating Pacifica Rugby League. I see myself as that really enthusiastic person, especially, when it comes to Pacifica Rugby League. And I want to be covering this from head to toe, and I cannot wait. But yes, New Zealand versus Tonga, hosting it. Man, cannot wait. It's going to be awesome as... I think it's actually quite cool. Now, we look onto we go to Campbelltown. Now, in regards to the order of how these games are going to be played, I'm not too sure. Part of me assumes that probably will be played in Campbelltown first. So, say like an afternoon game, and then maybe, a late arvo, then the nighttime game with New Zealand Tonga, barring the, the time difference. But anyway, Samoa and Cook Islands, man, that's going to be a tough physical game. Cook Islanders, to me, they've got a decent pack, to be honest with you guys, and they've got an up-and-coming young crop of talent too who can be selected for them. With Samoa, man, it's going to be very testy because, like I said before, you can't choose, say, for example, Samoa and then Australia later. You got to be committed, which is good. It has its pros and cons, but ultimately, in regards to trying to shape, like I talked on before, trying to shape the international game, it's beneficial. You may disagree, but that's okay. Now, you can have players who can play in Origin and still play for different, nations. For example, Luai playing Origin and then playing for Samoa. But remember, once he plays for Samoa, that's it. He can't put his hands up for Australia. So, again, that sort of thing there. But, yeah, like I was talking about with Samoa, what a juicy lineup. To'o, the potentially. Bolo. You got Luai, as I mentioned before. Schuster, depending. It's just, man. You know what I mean? Samoa, to me, low-key, the dark horse, actually. I think they're more the dark horse of the competition heading into the World Cup. And follow me there because I'll be journeying on that as well. And then we go to Fiji and Papua New Guinea. And if you want to see smash and bash, this is the game for you. Fiji, in my opinion, they've got a decent squad. They've got some players in the NRL, but they've got some players they can reach into in the domestic comps as well. PNG, very similar. Will we see the likes of Coates play? Obviously, we'll see the likes of Olin play as well. But again, those questions there. And like I said, just, oh, wow, a little mouth-watering contest. And look, just to go back to New Zealand and Tonga, Tonga, you got the likes of Tamaroro, you got the likes of Kotoni Stags potentially, Talakai, for example, and then New Zealand, you've got look, to be fair with you, I've sort of touched on this before, but I generally do hope that we see some Kiwi Tongans play, in the Kiwi squad. To be honest with you guys, I think it's awesome. It's not any good, but it's just good for the game. But no, overall, I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, give me your thoughts, guys. I think this is one that you don't want to miss, to be honest with you guys. It's awesome. I'm really, really happy about this. And yes, I'll be covering the games as well, reviewing them. I think it is important to. And again, this is all for the big dance, right? The Rugby League World Cup, in my opinion, the highest achievement you can make for yourself as a player, as a nation, is to be watching and being part of the Rugby League World Cup. But in saying that, I'm so stoked for this round here. I'm going to dub it the Pasifika round. But obviously Origin is there, so I'm sure they've got their thing going on there. But at the same time, it's awesome as. But yeah, that's my thoughts there. Anyway, guys, give me your thoughts on it, man. Who are you gonna cheer for? I'll be doing some tips on these rounds too, by the way. Don't you worry. But I'll take it easy. See you guys next time, and just remember, hold the ball.